whoa, 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 whoa. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Yeah. Get out the way, get the fuck up out my way, yeah. Yeah. Win, 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 win.
Yo, welcome to MST episode 35. We're already at episode 35, which is crazy. But, I keep talking about this college hoops episode, and here we are again talking about the NFL because the NFL comes up every week on Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and get these picks out early because we're heading up to Raleigh to the parents for Thanksgiving. So we'll have a change of scenery, but we'll definitely get a college hoops episode sometime next week. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into these picks. Okay, so first up is the Cowboys-Falcons. And here we have two teams who are underachieving, and they really need a win. This is pretty much an elimination game. And with the way the Falcons play at home and the way the Cowboys are atrocious away, their one win came within the division against Philly. They are kind of running a little bit hot. Amari Cooper's going to cause some matchup issues, but I still like Atlanta Falcons at home. Panthers, Lions, two teams that play very well at home and poorly on the road. So I would not be surprised if Detroit actually wins this game, but I'm just going to go with the Panthers rebounding and having an extra 10 days off. The Lions, they shouldn't give the Panthers much problems. I mean, really, the Panthers should be able to win this game in the trenches simply because the Lions have a hard time protecting Matthew Stafford. And if you can't protect your quarterback, and especially if he's an average quarterback, you're going to have a very difficult time winning the football game. So I think the Panthers can just rush 4, rush 5, and apply pressure to Stafford, which is going to be the difference in this game. Cam's just got to make sure he doesn't have any turnovers that lead to points like he did early in the game against Pittsburgh, and they should be all right as long as they take care of the ball. Be conservative. It's okay to be conservative in games like this because you don't want to be overly aggressive and allow the Lions to get out ahead and force yourself to play from behind. So Panther fans, bear with Ron Rivera here. Conservatism is very good in this game because the Lions are a team that will eventually beat themselves. Titans and Colts, another great playoff implications matchup. You know, Colts can win this and get back in it. You'll see later on I talk a little bit about how the Colts blew it against the Texans, which would have actually put them at the same record as the Titans at 5-4. Now they're sitting at 4-5 because of that fumble that not really a fumble, but that boneheaded play to go for a fourth down against the Texans at home. They get a chance to even things up with the Titans and basically pull the Titans away from the lead and pull themselves closer. I'm actually going with the Colts for this. I think the Colts can win this game. I think the Titans are riding a little too high after beating the Patriots at home, and as they go on the road, I do think they are a slightly better team, but I think the Colts are playing very good football at home. They will get the victory. Buccaneers, Giants. I'm going with the Giants at home. Buccaneers are a mess. Texans, Redskins, another playoff implicated matchup. You know, this week is full of good matchups. Texans at Redskins, this is a very tough game to pick, but I'm going to go with Houston. I'm going with Washington. I'm going with the Redskins at home. They've been money. They've been a good football team. And the Texans have not been bad on the road. They've actually been pretty good. They're 3-2 away. I just think the Redskins, with their revamped secondary, they're figuring things out. And Alex Smith isn't going to lose the game for the Redskins, but he's not going to win it. Deshaun Watson might end up losing the game, forcing things on the road. It's going to be a good matchup. This is definitely a game I would love to watch, and I would watch had it not been for Steelers-Jaguars, which is the next game I'm picking. Pittsburgh's coming in hot, red hot. They have some injuries that just showed up, which is going to give Jacksonville some hope because without Stephon Tuitt on the defensive line and the Jaguars getting Leonard Fournette back, that was one of the things that they did to Pittsburgh the first time they played. They just ran at Alua's side where Tuitt was injured, and they just ran at him the entire game, and they had a lot of success, averaging over like 5 yards a carry. So if that happens, then yeah, definitely Jacksonville. Another thing to take note is predicted to be about 75 degrees, and Pittsburgh's coming from the snow, and in Pennsylvania. So this is a game that if I wasn't a Steelers fan, I'd probably pick the Jaguars. I mean, I think this is an upset alert, upset watch game that it's hard to say upset because this team, the Jaguars, beat the Steelers twice last year, but looking at their current records and how they've been playing, it still is considered an upset. But I'm just going to go with the Steelers because I have faith in Tomlin, I have faith in Ben, and I have faith that the team understands what they need to do to get this victory. And this is a huge matchup, and they're not going to take Jacksonville lightly this go round. Next game is another playoff implicative game. Bengals and Ravens, a very, very good matchup. Bengals got lucky with this one. Again, sometimes it's just the timing of when you play a guy. Joe Flacco's out. Lamar Jackson could be out, and they could get Robert Griffin III. What a story it would be for RG3 to get a W in his first start in over I don't know how many years. So I still got Cincinnati winning this game because they're the healthier team, and sometimes that's all the difference makes. Raiders, Cardinals, definitely going to Cardinals at home against the Raiders. Broncos, Chargers. Chargers will beat the Broncos. Chargers are for real. Broncos don't look like they have enough. Eagles, Saints, another good matchups. I'm going to go again with the home team, the Saints. It's hard to pick against the Saints at home, especially against an underachieving Eagles team that just lost to the Cowboys. So Eagles, I really do think that this is another upset watch because Philly is desperate and New Orleans. They're definitely trying to keep home field advantage, but we'll see what happens. They want a little bit of revenge, I think, also from last year. I think the Eagles beat them in the playoffs. So this is a toss-up game, and for that reason, I'm going with the Saints just because they're at home. But I really do like the Eagles' chances in this game. Vikings, Bears. Bears beating the Vikings. We're covering this game over. I had a conversation with my dad. I will add to this video, but I just think I don't have faith in Kirk Cousins. I just think he's going to let the Vikings down. They're not going to win the division. I think they will get in as a wild card, but I think this is going to be the game that loses them the division. So I got the Bears at home with the ferocious defense of Sunday Night Football, giving Kirk Cousins problems. And then Monday night, Chiefs-Rams. Chiefs-Rams is now in L.A. I'm still going with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs can run up and down the field with anybody, and their threat of scoring might take Sean McVay out of his bag, get away from the running game, and cause him to lose the game for the team. So those are my quick picks. We're about to actually go into a phone conversation with my pops. So here, take a listen, and then we'll come back and wrap up this episode. All right, so Bengals, Ravens, what's your synopsis?
My synopsis is that Bengals win, and they stay in the hunt because they think they got the 6th seed right now. They stay in for another week anyway. Ravens put a fork in them.
Alexis.
Then we got Buccaneers, Giants. Both teams are already out. Cowboys, Falcons. Falcons are done. Cowboys are hanging by a thread. If they lose, they're done, but they're still hanging by a thread. I will take the Falcons to win the game though.
So we got Cowboys losing to the Falcons, going 4-6. They're done. And who did you pick for the Bengals and Ravens?
Bengals.
Oh wow! Well, yeah, that's shaping up nice for the Bengals.
Flacco's out. They're gonna either see Lamar Jackson or RG3, and I don't think maybe one of those. Maybe Lamar Jackson comes in and stuns them, but I think the Bengals gonna be too much for them.
Yeah, that'll be tough for. I mean, hey, what a redemption story! What a great story it would be for Robert Griffin III to come in and get that W for the Ravens.
From a movie, Ravens are like mongoloids, and they won't fight without their leader.
No, I'm saying what You don't think it'll be a good story if RG3 comes in
It
and
could be a good story, yeah. Or Lamar Jackson, either one, come
yeah,
in and win the game. But I don't. Neither one of those guys have played much this year. Jackson is a rookie, and he's. I don't know how good he is throwing the football. And RG3, I think there's enough information out there to have to stop him. So I'm gonna stick with the Bengals.
okay. So here's another playoff implicating game, right? You have
Well,
the
let me just go down my list. We'll get to that.
I would say the Texans and Redskins.
Well, let me get. I'm going with what's on my list first, okay?
This is my show, not your show.
No, it's my show. It's my show.
Oh, it's old man
Panthers,
sports talk.
Lions.
Panthers, Lions. Panthers, Lions.
Beat the Lions and they stay in the hunt.
Now be careful because this is on the road and the Panthers have not played that well on the road.
Yeah, but the Lions are garbage. They're just total garbage. They'll take care. They'll fool whatever their quarterback name is enough. They've been trying to anoint him some kind of great guy for quarterback for years, and it never pans out.
True. Okay. All right.
Not.
Titans, Colts.
Jags, oh gosh, why did it go away?
I got you.
So the Steelers beat the Jags. Come on, and the Jags are done. The Jags then are done.
Are you sure about that? Did you hear about we lost Tuitt?
Oh, he's out?
Tuitt's out.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
And of course Gilbert's still out as well. But that I don't think that
mind Gilbert being out. Gilbert doesn't bother me out. What's his name? He's done a great job. All right, Texans Redskins. You wanted to get to them.
Yeah.
Texans at the Redskins. This is a toss-up game. And whoever loses is not done. They're just step back a step. If you have to pick, I will pick. The Texans have not lost a game since they lost their first 3. They're on a 6-game winning streak. Do they continue to ride, or do they? I think they come through. I think the Texans will come through and beat the Redskins. But neither team is done after that. Titans, Colts. Titans at the Colts.
Before you do that, can we just mention that as good as the Texans are playing now, the Colts lost that game on that boneheaded play to go for it on 4th down against Houston at home, and they gave Houston the game-winning field goal. Had they won that game, the Colts would be 5-4, and the Texans.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just pointing out. It does matter. It does matter because now the Colts are playing for their season. If the Colts lose to the Titans, they are out, and they're playing for their season now. Had they not made that boneheaded mistake, they.
Well, that's why I was gonna pick the Colts anyway because I think they're on a better roll, and I think the Titans are gonna come down after beating the Patriots.
I think so too. I agree.
And that's gonna make that division even tighter.
It is. I'm just showing the significance of that play a few weeks back. That was a very significant play.
Chargers. I'll take the Chargers. Broncos are done. Raiders at Cardinals.
Don't care.
Cares.
Nobody cares about Buccaneers, Giants. So all the games. Yeah, now we got Eagles, Saints.
Saints.
It's at home at New Orleans. I don't see how you go against the Saints in that dome.
I don't go against the Saints. Yeah. And that will take the Eagles. They lost last week, didn't they?
Yeah, but if the Redskins lose and you said the Cowboys lose,
win, they're back in the hunt. Okay,
but even if they lose, they're in the same spot they are in.
But if they lose, they're in the same spot, but they're out.
Out what? Out of what? What are they out of?
I think they out of, well, number one, they're not going to win the division.
Why? If you said the Texans beat the Redskins got 4 losses.
But they got a 2-game lead.
And they got 2 games to play against Philly.
And
they got to play against Dallas again.
Okay. Well, maybe they hang on by.
And the Redskins got to go at Tennessee, at Jacksonville.
Okay. You gonna do the Vikings Bears, man?
You can go ahead, start it.
Vikings win the game.
Why?
Because
It's in Chicago.
I know it's in Chicago, but it's deep in the season, and Mitch Trubisky is going to cough this game up for the Bears. He's just not going to play well in prime time. It's a prime time game. It's the Sunday night game, and I think Cousins are outplaying.
So it's interesting that you say that because I was thinking the same thing, except the other way around. I'm saying Mitch Trubisky has the home field. The pressure is on Kirk Cousins because they're the team that's supposed to be doing better. They're underachieving to a degree.
But
Now,
the team that's in first place.
Now Chicago, exactly. So the pressure is on Vikings to win this game more than the Bears. The Bears are happy that they're just competitive and they're just in something rather than being at the bottom of the league. So all I'm saying is that, yeah, we have a similar track of mind. But my point that I'm going to say that the difference is I don't trust Kirk Cousins to come up big on the road against a tough defense in a hostile environment. I don't trust Kirk Cousins. He's going to turn. Yeah, he will turn the ball over and he will lose the game for the Vikings. So I got the Bears.
That's your side.
I got the Bears. You got the Vikings. All right. Chiefs, Rams.
And the last game, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I guess I'm going with my hopes.
So here's the thing. Go ahead.
Either team, the winner is not going to be a surprise in this game. It's not going to surprise anybody if Kansas City win. It's not going to surprise anybody if the Rams win. So it's a toss-up in my head. I'm going to take the Rams because I think hopefully they got a better defense than
here's my prediction. Whoever has the ball last will win this game.
That's probably right.
Whoever has the ball last, because I don't see how the Chiefs are going to stop the Rams' running game, but the Chiefs are going to be able to score at will on the Rams as well. The Rams have not seen anything the likes of what the Chiefs have this year. Closer, maybe the Saints might have been the closest thing, but the Saints are still predominantly run team.
You're not talking about the Saints.
I know, but the point is that's the only thing they have, which they lost. They lost to that team, and the Chiefs. I just like the Chiefs offensively. They are very tough to stop, and unless you face them before, it's going to be tough to beat them the first time. Do you expect the Rams to score 40? They're going to have to score 40 to win.
When they played, listen to me. When they played the Saints, they played against Drew Brees, a veteran quarterback,
an old quarterback,
and
old.
Still good.
He's good. But Mahomes has the ability to make throws that Drew Brees cannot right now. Maybe once in his career, but not anymore. Mahomes can make throws and fit them in tight spots. It's quicker with that power that Brees can't do.
But Mahomes has lost the one game that they had when they played the Patriots. Was that a prime time game?
It was prime time, but it was a game in which you can't compare the Rams to the Patriots.
Was in prime time.
You can't compare the Rams to the Patriots.
Against a good team on the road.
Not just a good team, a team that doesn't lose at home because they do a lot of things behind the scenes. They screw with your headsets. They screw with your sleep. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, and you know it. The Rams not going to do that.
The only reason why they were in that game was because they did not have. I will put it this way: the Rams, with their running game, is going to cut down on the amount of possessions that the Chiefs have.
Yeah, it could win. That could be a dictating factor. Obviously, when you get in these tough matchups, this is a playoff matchup. You know, this is a matchup where every possession counts and efficiency is more important. So yeah, true. That could be the case in what turns the tide. But
all right, well, we went through.
So all right then. You feel confident about the Steelers?
Well, since you told me Tua's not playing, it makes me a little bit less confident because I think we need that pass. He was starting to show get a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. Him and Tuitt and TJ on that side were really, really, really coming strong, and I like what I saw. So.
And now the Jaguars got Fournette.
I know, and see, that's the thing. We got to stop. We got to get up on them, and then make them one dimensional. To beat them, Pittsburgh cannot turn the game. Here's the thing: if we get through the first half and we haven't turned the ball over, we'll win the game. Because I think if we don't turn the ball over, I think the score will either be up slightly or it'll be close, real close, and we'll be able to outplay them in the second half. But if we turn it over, then start throwing dumb passes or got tip balls and stuff like that, then we're in trouble. We got to protect the football. Don't let them get up. And the games Pittsburgh has lost, if you go back to the last 3 games we have lost, don't think about the tie, the lost games. The Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Jags. Those are the last 3 games we lost. And I think, did anybody beat us after the Jags beat us last year? Because the team went 13-3.
The Patriots
they lost
did.
to the Bears.
The Patriots beat us.
They lost to the Jags. Oh, and the Patriots. We'll take the Patriots game out because that was a win.
No, it was not. No, it wasn't. It was a loss.
It was a loss on paper,
but that's the same thing that happened to the Chiefs.
But listen to me.
That's the same thing that happened to the Chiefs this year. Did you count against them?
Listen to me. The way the team played, we very well should have won that game.
And so should have the Chiefs.
You're not letting me get my point out.
Well, I'm just reminding you right now.
Why are we talking about the Chiefs?
It's okay. It's okay.
We're talking about the Steelers.
Okay, you just went against what you said earlier. That's why.
The Steelers have lost the last 4 games that they really, really lost. Going back to the first Jags game, the second Jags game.
The Chiefs beat us by the offense not scoring.
And the Chiefs game and the Ravens game is because we had terrible starts in the game and let a team jump out ahead of us by multiple scores. And we had to fight. And every game that we played, we fought and came back. Every one of them we tied except for the I can't remember the first Jags game. I don't know if we even did that. But the playoff game.
The first Jaguars game.
We almost got them, but the Chiefs and the Ravens, we actually tied the score. But we had to spend so much energy coming back that they didn't have enough down the stretch to really, take the game out. So all I'm saying is, if you play them guys even in the first half, we got the game.
Okay, I know. I agree with that. I was just pointing out that the same thing happened to the Chiefs, and you keep acting like their loss isn't the same thing of what we did with the Patriots.
Well, maybe so, but we were talking about something different at that time.
But what I'm saying is, it's still basically the same concept that the only loss they have in the season was to a Patriots team where they really, on paper, it's a loss, but it really felt like the Chiefs kind of won that game. But it's fine how you want to look at it. I'm just pointing out that was kind of hypocritical.
Well, no, the Chiefs lost that game. When I was talking about the Steelers loss, it was because of an officiating deal in that game.
They had officiating deals in the Chiefs game too.
And
they had
officiating. The Chiefs, they straight up lost. I mean,
they had bad calls. There's a lot of bad calls in that game, and they didn't call a single penalty on the Patriots that game. Not a single penalty. So.
All right.
But all right, well, at least we got all the game picks in. So you got the Rams beating the Chiefs, making it interesting. I guess that's not that interesting then, right? Because it doesn't have any huge implications unless.
It does. If the Steelers win, that puts us one game out of first place.
That's true.
And all we need then is for the Chiefs to slip up.
But it doesn't change anything because the Chiefs would still be first place.
Huh?
The Chiefs would still be first place
They'll
if they.
Be first place, but then the heat is on them to stay there. They lose that 2-game edge. And,
they do.
Well, it's a game and a half. It's a game and a half edge that they got. And
So
all we need is to win and have them slip up another time.
Yeah, I mean they got a home game now, so I mean I guess that helps. But it's not like the Chiefs haven't been to LA and whooped up on a good team.
Well, I don't know how much of a home game it's going to be when the tickets weren't sold beforehand. So it's a free for all for the tickets right now.
That's true. Yeah.
The people in Los Angeles, they might have had other things planned for this weekend and say the heck with it.
But they still have the advantage of filling the stadium because it's much harder to plan last minute to go from Kansas City to LA than to stay in LA and go to the game.
We'll see.
All right, so there you have it. Old Black Man got his picks in, and we call him old, but no, really that guy right there. He taught me all I know about football, and he's been watching the sport for years and years and years since the 70s. So if there's any type of person that's going to know what they're talking about, it's going to be him. He does get a little kooky sometimes, but that's all part of the fun and game. So there you have it. Week 11 picks. Chiefs and I think the Rams, both of them get a bye week after this week. They were supposed to be in Mexico City, and then the Patriots are on a bye week now. So after this week, or actually after next week, we're going to get into some very meaningful games. I mean, these are very, very important games now. But once the bye weeks are over, we're going to have a lot more good matchups. I'm expecting so, at least, as we hit the final stretch of the NFL season and get into the playoffs, which is why you play the game to win. You play the game to win. Peace.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. Because it matters.